The ABC or Annapurna Base Camp trek is one of the most popular treks in Nepal. Trekkers from all around the world come here to enjoy its breathtaking views and natural beauty. We have also had the chance to experience this amazing journey, and in this video, we will share our experiences and guide you how you can plan and visit there on your own without any guide. So, let's start. So, there are two trains available from Howrah to Raxaul, and we took the Mithila Express that departs from Howrah at 3:50 in the afternoon. And we reached Raxaul station at 8:30 in the morning and took a Tanga for ₹200 all the way to Birgunj Bus Stop. The first thing we did was exchanging money like one of these counters in Raxaul. So basically Raxaul, which is located in Bihar, shares the India-Nepal border with the town of Birgunj. It takes around 30 minutes to reach Birgunj from Raxaul. And then we booked our bus tickets to Pokhara, which took 1760 NPR for 2 people. So it took around 7 hours to reach Pokhara. The bus dropped us off at Prithwi Chawk, and from there we took a cab to Pokhara lakeside. There you can find many stay options. And after that we headed to the lakeside, grabbed some food and just relaxed. The vibe was really great, calm, refreshing, and exactly what we needed. Here you can find so many street food options, cafes and restaurants. Okay, in the meantime, let me share you a very important point here. You need a permit to visit ABC. So there are two options available, online and offline. Offline permit requires you to visit to the office, which opens only after 10 a.m. What you need are 2 copies of passport size photograph and 1000 NPR. But what I would recommend you is that availing the online option. All you need to visit to this website and fill up this form. Select the area, give the start date and end date, and press on the submit button. Make a printout of it and you are done. And yes, that's how we wrapped our first day in Nepal. So today we are kicking off our trek all the way to ABC. And in order to do that, we made our way to Chhomrong bus station. And we took a bus to Ghandruk, which cost 450 NPR per person. Oh, and along the way you can catch stunning views of Machapuchare and Annapurna South Peaks. The road to Ghandruk was quite bumpy and the paths are often damaged due to landslides. The roads here are constantly under construction. After reaching Ghandruk, we walked a little to reach a point. From there we got a shared jeep which dropped us down at Jhinudanda, from where the real trek started. So the jeep dropped us off at Jhinudanda, and from here the main trek starts. The bridge at Jhinudanda is a charming suspension bridge and it took us around 4 to 5 minutes to cross the bridge. The first day of our trek was quite challenging as it was all uphill. Our goal was to reach Chhomrong, but it felt like it was far out of sight.
Oh, sorry. No problem. Totally ruined that picture. You want a picture with a random English girl?
So that he can flex later.
And another one.
After a tough 3-hour trek, we finally reached Chhomrong and it felt like a huge milestone. Chhomrong is a popular stop for many trekkers on day 1 of the ABC trek. It offers plenty of accommodation options and a variety of cafes where you can relax and refuel. In Chhomrong, you will find the permit office from where you need to get your entry stamp on your permit. And remember, you will also need to get the exit stamp when you are returning. It was 4 o'clock in the evening when we reached Chhomrong, so we decided to push a little bit further and reach Lower Sinuwa, marking the end of our first day as we still have time. Yes, the village that you can see over there, it is Lower Sinuwa.
তো পাহাড় এলাম, ওটা একটা পাহাড়, তারপরে এটা একটা পাহাড়, এটা একটা পাহাড়, আর এটা একটা পাহাড়।
Then we checked into a tea house for 500 NPR only. So this is where we stayed at Lower Sinuwa, and today our target is Deorali. And let's see how far can we reach today. After having breakfast, we began our second day of the trek at 7:15 in the morning walking past the charming cafes and the houses of Lower Sinuwa. Can you identify these plants? Let me know in the comment section. And after 90 minutes of trek, we reached Upper Sinuwa. The road to Upper Sinuwa from Lower Sinuwa is quite steep. This is Upper Sinuwa, and from here you get a stunning view of 4 majestic peaks: Machapuchare, Annapurna South, Hinchuli and Annapurna 3. From Upper Sinuwa, our next stop is Bamboo, which is at a lower height compared to any other stops in this ABC trek, so we have to trek downward. Bamboo village is nestled deep within the forest, surrounded by dense groves of tall bamboo trees that give the place its name. It's a peaceful stop along the trail with a cool, shaded atmosphere. After 2.5 hours, we finally reached Bamboo and it felt like a never-ending trail. Let me share you something. We didn't rest at these specific village spots. Instead, whenever we felt the need for a break, we simply sat down, rehydrate ourselves and continued our journey. So, after 1.5 hours, we reached our next stop, Dovan, at 1:30 in the afternoon. And as we were hungry, we decided to have our lunch here, which we carried with ourselves. It was already 2 p.m. and our next halt is Himalaya with Deorali as our target for the day, which is 5 hours from here. Let's see how far we can get. And from here onwards, we will see that the landscape changes after every 2 to 3 hours. Here comes the beautiful Varaha temple surrounded by stunning views. It's the perfect place to pause and have a quiet moment with yourself, watching the majestic waterfalls cascading down from the mountains on the other side. uphill trek of nearly 3 hours, we finally reached Himalaya at 5 pm, completely exhausted and could not even think of taking a step further. We decided to stay at Himalaya in one of the tea houses. Here, accommodations are usually offered as a package deal. For us, it was 2000 NPR per person, which included the night's stay, dinner and breakfast. And yes, Wi-Fi too. So, this was our dinner for the night. And here is what we had for breakfast in the next morning. So, our next destination is Deorali, approximately an hour's trek from here. So this was our very first glacier that we have encountered in our trek, and it was very inclined and slippery. So after 1.5 hours of trek, we reached Deorali at 9 o'clock in the morning after slipping and sliding down through the glaciers. From here onwards, we entered an area with unstable glacial formations and avalanche-prone zones. Till Chhomrong and Sinuwa, we saw rhododendron trees, farming communities and mules passing by. The area was lush and green. As we moved ahead, the vegetation changed to bamboo groves, followed by ferns. After Deorali, we noticed moss-covered rocks and icy surfaces. Along with trekking, we witnessed a beautiful transition of landscapes. Although the signboards indicated that from Deorali to MBC it would take 2 hours only, but we felt that the trail was much longer than expected. It seemed never ending. We just kept on going and going. With the Modi River flowing so close to us and the snow-capped mountains towering above, it felt like we have stepped into one of those scenic landscapes we used to see in old calendar pages.
ওখান থেকে এসছি ভাব, চারটিখানি কথা, ওখান থেকে আসে, ওখান থেকে আরো
We witnessed our first avalanche and we managed to capture a faint glimpse of it. And suddenly, to our surprise, the much anticipated Machapuchhare Base Camp came into view. After a 4-hour of trek, we reached MBC at 1:50 pm and took a 15-minute break to refuel and recharge. We have also noticed that the temperature had dropped significantly and we could feel the chill in the air. And then we set off once again for the final stretch of our journey. Now it felt like a scene from a horror movie. The weather worsened, visibility dropped, and the air grew thinner. Even we saw a few trekkers turning back from MBC or deciding to stay there for the day. But we decided to take a leap of faith and press on towards ABC. Though we were a bit scared with no guide or internet, we kept our hopes high, reminding ourselves that we are travelers, not tourists. As we were trekking ahead, suddenly the weather cleared and we could hear cheers from distant away, and we looked down over there and saw there were humans, and that was ABC. This sight filled us with a surge of excitement and joy. Ronnie, you have won the tournament. How feel?
How feel?
How feel? Very
Good feeling only. How are you feeling?
very good, and it's chilly. I'm feeling cold.
Minus.
The night at ABC was incredibly starry. I have never seen so many stars in my entire life. And in the next morning, Annapurna greeted us with a beautiful view of its snowy peak. And this was the tea house where we stayed.
Hi, boiled potato wala.
So, after all the planning and trekking, we finally achieved our goal. Mission accomplished. With happy hearts and smiling faces, we began our descent. Now it's time to go home.
Helicopter.
While descending, we came across a partially frozen spring, just like the ones I used to see in my geography books. We took an hour to freshen up at Himalaya, where we had earlier left our extra luggage. We have now retrieved it and will be carrying it down with us. We reached Bamboo at 3:30 pm, but suddenly it started raining. So we paused for a half-hour tea break. But we started again as we were eager to cover as much ground as possible. At 6 pm, we reached Upper Sinuwa and checked into this tea house. And we were so tired and had suddenly an urge for unhealthy food. So we ordered spaghetti and macaroni to satisfy the urge. So, as usual, in the next morning, we started again at 7 am after having our breakfast. This was our last day of the trek, and we were coming down the same path we had taken 3 days ago. It felt nostalgic.
So from this village, there's no mules, no horse. There's only human.
We met people from all around the world of different ages and languages. Everyone here greets each other with a warm namaste. That means I bow to you, which is also a tradition in India. And sometimes they are very helpful to you. They share some tips and share their experiences, and that's all we learn while traveling, and it stays with us for lifelong. So, I have told you earlier that you need to check out your permit while returning from this checkpoint at Chhomrong.
So,
And here we have come to the climax part, this Jhinu suspension bridge. the never-ending bridge. Let's go. Trekking all the way to ABC didn't feel as challenging to me as crossing this bridge, especially with my fear of heights.
একটু নিচে তাকাবো?
না Oh.
Done.
So, from here we took a shared jeep with some other Japanese trekkers for 1,000 Nepali per head and headed straight to Pokhara. And after reaching Pokhara, we treated ourselves with all kinds of indulgences. Chole bhature, chips, chocolates, juice, ice cream, pizza and whatnot. We have also picked up some souvenirs to take home. This area is the happening place in Pokhara. Every tourist come here to do every kind of things. Since it was our last day, we tried to make the most of our time here. And then we returned to Pokhara lakeside again and explored the food which were available over there with some restaurants and cafes. And since it was our last beautiful morning in Nepal and the thought of returning to our routine life felt disheartening, since our stay was near the lake, we went to have a glance of it for one last time. After that, we took a taxi to Prithvi Chawk to catch a bus to the Birgunj Bus Stop. And that's how we successfully wrapped up our trip, a truly memorable and adventurous journey that will stay with us for a lifetime. We highly recommend experiencing the Annapurna Base Camp trek yourself. We hope this video helps you plan your own ABC adventure. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. We will be happy to guide you as much as we can. And last but not the least, Namaste.